Welcome back. This is Rox of the Revanharte channel on my fourth video for this evening in this series of videos. To be dead honest, I'm just really enjoying the way this looks. My lighting setup, I'm pretty proud of. I mean, this is capturing kind of what I want. A nice little highlight in the back. That's really cool because it's changing colors. Creates a nice little silhouette of me and my beautiful hair. Yeah. I'm liking this filter I chose for this camera. Is kind of graying me out a little bit. I don't know, it's kind of making me look a little more I don't know, but this little ring light is making my eyes pop a little bit. And like I said, lighting is very important in YouTube land, so this is me kind of going a little different with lighting. Instead of being a nice bright room or in front of a bright light of the sun in front of a window, I like to sit in the dark with just something focused on myself, which is why you're seeing all these flashes, because if I move my hands, whoop, all that light reflecting off my hand is going to darken the video behind it. I was a photographer once. I played around with all kinds of things like that. I was a filmmaker once. I played around with all kinds of things like that, and for the life of me, I still cannot figure out how to get my microphones to work on these smartphones. Maybe they're too smart for me. I don't know. But as I was saying, the feeling of feeling unworthy and feeling too shy, or feeling am I too unapproachable or too attractive or too ugly. This one, why do I feel some of these things? Why do I feel, aside from a physical standpoint of being attractive, I feel unworthy on a financial point, or a creative point, or a what am I doing with my life point? For me to approach somebody in a relationship right now, I feel like I'm just gonna bring them down. I feel like, it's getting a little hot in here. I feel like I'm gonna, it's not that I'm not motivated, and it's not that I don't have goals, don't have aspirations or plans, because I've got more goals, more aspirations, more plans, more motivation, and more ambition than anyone I know. I've got more creative ideas on my plate than I can actually handle in 1, 2, maybe 4 to 5 lifetimes. Ability to conquer those ideas and put them into fruition and make them actually happen, now that is the challenge. That's the challenge I think we all face. I don't think everybody has lacking ideas. I don't know. I know I don't lack any ideas. I know I don't lack any creativity. I know I don't lack any motivation or ambition. But many people, I have been called lazy. I think that's a misconception. People might see me maybe kicking back. But if I'm kicking back, it's not because I'm like taking a siesta. I'm kicking back because I'm thinking about 900 different creative projects, and which one can I begin, which one can I finish, which one can I approach differently, which one should I invest my energy into at this current time, which one should I have on the next in line, which one is total garbage and I should just completely eliminate it. I don't know. I'm a jack of all, master of none. And that complex right there makes me feel unworthy to bring that level of indecision to somebody else. I love to collaborate with a partner because it helps balance me. It helps guide me in a direction. Because if I'm not in a specific direction, I'm gonna go everywhere. I've got too many creative projects, and it's to the point that I've been with someone who hated the word project because I have brought up this project and this project and that project and this idea and that idea and this business idea and this business idea and this business adventure and that business adventure, to the point it drove them insane. I think it drove them insane, or at least they brought it up a lot, that they weren't too happy with the idea that I just couldn't stick to one and finish it. So does that make me worthy of somebody else? To put somebody else in that position to feel like they're competing with me in my creativity, me in my creative projects? I felt that was unfair to do to them. As much as I loved to collaborate and work with somebody on those creative projects, I might have overwhelmed them to the point they felt like it's time to go. I don't know. I never really got clarification on that to the point, I feel like there's got to be someone out there that does value someone with that much creativity, but maybe they have just a little bit more focus for it and can redirect some of that energy where it needs to be, as opposed to just leaving me out in no man's land and struggling. Now I'm never gonna fall short of ideas to the point I've had to stifle my creativity. I've had to choke it so far back because I will get light years ahead of myself. And yet that creativity has led me to be very indecisive on what I want to do as a career. I am formerly a teacher, a master's of education. I work on teaching behavior to children, to elementary level children who have a hard time controlling their behavior. And it's as much as I love working with children, and I love children, I even love that job. It was very stressful for me, especially in this whole COVID thing. It just became overwhelming to the point that I'm seeking YouTube. I'm seeking other adventures for right now and taking a break from that, a hiatus from that, which makes me feel a little bit unworthy. I had a good paycheck as a teacher, and now I don't have that good paycheck to offer somebody else. And that's a sad thing for me. But I had to do what's right for me. I can't put myself in a state of where I'm just not being able to do the creative things I want because I'm working so hard to help fix the behavior of other children. And that has left me wondering if there's people out there, a relationship out there for me that can handle the fact that I walked away from a good paycheck in order to pursue that inner drive of mine. I've always wanted to be a filmmaker. In high school, I've made films back before all this internet, and back before, I was using some dinosaur technology back in the day when I was making my film, back on VHS. It was bad. But making movies is something that I really pursue. I was making a full-length movie that ultimately became too cursed to continue. So unfortunately I did have to let that one go. But it is still a passion of mine. Am I a director? I have not been to film school. I have taken cinematography in high school. I've taken drama. But I don't know how to approach becoming an actual director. I don't know how to even go down that career field. The only thing I know how to do is pick up a recording device. Obviously I don't even know how to use a microphone attached to it. But record some of these ideas as best as I can pull them off. So there's my director career. Since I never went to any kind of college or anything formal for that, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to achieve that unless YouTube makes me a success to the point that I can maybe take it to the next level. That'd be great. But a secondary career path I've missed a great opportunity on, which thankfully this one isn't really too biased. You can do this pretty much until you die. Acting. I've always wanted to be an actor. I've always, since being a little boy and shadow boxing to the Rocky movies, to running around pretending I was Rambo, hiding in the bushes, and just acting was always my thing. Whether I'm a good actor, so the film I was just talking about that I starred in, I stuttered all over the place. I couldn't remember my lines. I was such a bad actor that it was actually what made that film kind of a mild success. It's what the humor was in that, is my bad acting. At least those who watch the footage, they know my bad acting is what made it work. So that's part of why I'm making these YouTube videos anyway, is to get comfortable in front of the camera, because I'm used to being behind the camera. So getting comfortable in front of the camera, and maybe someday continuing to pursue an acting career. Acting is something I've always wanted to do, and I've done some background acting, and it gave me a taste for it, and got to meet some really cool people, and I would mind continuing going that route until I get comfortable and all that. So I've already dabbled in wrestling. Wrestling was a passion of mine. A performer in a ring. Couldn't act so much with remembering my lines for acting, but put me in a wrestling ring, and that was, man, that was golden. Physically, I could move and do a lot of really neat things. Mentally, my head was in the game. Acting was pretty good when it came to that. Selling my injuries and all of that. It was fun. But I did take an injury that was big enough to get me to rethink my career. So if I passed up on 3 of my biggest ideas, and then I became a musician to fall back on. I've always been playing bass guitar, inspired by the late Peter Steele, who is my #1 influence. And you'll see that in some of the work I do with Hate Stone. It was a career path I was really pursuing hard, and I don't know if I want to give that up either. Being a musician is, I mean, I look the part, I act the part, I love being up on stage, I love being able to sonically entertain people. I'd like to ultimately put a microphone in my hand and become a vocalist. But right now I'm a bass player, and I am recording all the parts to the music, from drums to guitars, into software all by myself, no band. I'm self-taught. Again, I'm not educated musically. I'm just have some field experience. I have played the game long enough to where I can kind of pass. I'm play by ear, that kind of thing. But being a musician is a big commitment right now for my life, and I don't really think I can really go full-blown into that other than doing the music recording. But performing, I miss that. I wish I could do that again, maybe someday. That's another cool career path that's really not age biased so much, at least not for us rock stars, right? Pop stars, rock stars, we can be old and decrepit and look like hell, but still produce music. So I'm not giving up on that career path just yet. I'm still young enough. But that led me to, when I left being a musician, I pursued photography, because I already had filmography, and I still kind of wanted that rock star kind of lifestyle. I learned to become a photographer, since I already went down the graphic design, which I didn't mention, but my first degree was in graphic design, so I wanted to be, as silly as this sounds, an illustrator, a tattoo artist, or something along those lines for maybe film. I don't know. But so that fit pretty well with photographer. Well, I never really pursued it all the way. I just started a business in it, and I really didn't get enough clients to sustain it. And technology moved on where everybody's got these smartphones, and everybody's an Instagram model now, and I'm all for that. It just kind of killed my career, and I didn't pursue it hard enough. Not very good at marketing myself, which is one of my biggest challenges there. So am I worthy of anybody when I've got all those creative career paths? I don't know, because now I've got another career path. I always wanted to be a writer. Since I'm writing stories for film, I'm trying to tell a story through music, I'm trying to tell a story through illustrated art. Why not write? So I am working on a lot of writing projects, but I put a lot of those on hold to kind of go back to focusing on making YouTube and focusing on making music. I feel the YouTube land gives me a chance to kind of combine it all into one funnel it all into one rocks Revanharte creative aspect of me. These are all things that are great, but they're not making me a fortune. Being a starving artist ain't no joke. How can I be worthy of somebody else and pursue a relationship when I'm a starving artist, not in just one category, but in multitude of categories of artist? Painter. I mean, this sounds ridiculous, but I'm starting to learn how to forge swords and knives. That's something I'd like to continue to do. Taking apart electronics, taking apart which led me to taking apart cars, which is why I brought that up, is now I'm kind of pursuing restoring and rebuilding cars. That's an art form in itself, and I haven't, again, been formally educated on it. I'm self-taught. So how do I pursue a career in that? I'm knee-deep in all this, and that's a lot of burden to bring to somebody that has left me wondering, am I worthy of somebody if I can't even focus on any one of those aspects? I have all that talent, all that creativity on the board, yet no focus into any one of those. And they're not bringing in a lot of income to solve that problem. So I feel like I'm just going to be a burden to somebody if I drag them along on that ride. Yet at the same time, it sucks having to do it alone. I don't want to do it alone. I never wanted to do any of this alone. The idea of doing it alone is terrifying to me. It's unmotivating. I'll move a mountain for somebody, and I'm sitting here unmotivated, yet I'm re-motivating myself for YouTube and all that, and really getting inspired this year because thankfully COVID has changed the game a little bit for me. It's put me indoors right where I need to be, in studio, a lot more than perhaps normally, because another one of the things I like to do is travel, and I can spend a lot of time on the road. So I did pursue being a trucker. there's a lot. So feeling worthy based on income or based on career path is a big deal. If you can't provide your family or you can't provide a relationship, how can you expect it to continue? People are going to get financially frustrated. I got to pick something, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. Is I'm running a multitude of different hustles, a multitude of different ideas to hopefully break one of those categories and go full head on into it. I don't plan on giving up on YouTube because this is my way of uploading myself to the internet. Let everybody know who I am and maybe get some guidance. I mean, leave some comments down below. If you got some guidance for me, please don't be shy about it. Leave some ideas. Let me know that maybe it's okay. There are people out there that would like a guy like me who might have all these ideas, but maybe you know how to focus those ideas. Maybe you're willing to take on that kind of challenge. I don't know. This isn't a cry out for a date, but this is an idea that there are people out there that can maybe handle that kind of challenge. The challenge of rocks. Yeah. Challenge of rocks. I certainly am a challenge to most people who try to take me on. That'll lead to my next video. I know this one dragged for almost 20 minutes. Holy crap. It is what it is. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. I mean, I'm impressed if you made it this far. Stay tuned because I'm going to lead into the next video in about 2 minutes here. Thanks for watching.